Hey guys, welcome back to D Group. Tonight we have a challenge for you.
In your groups, we want you to take the silliest picture you can imagine and send it over to the Instagram at Chapel Street High School. And whichever one we think is the best, we're gonna end up posting. So make sure you follow it and so you can see if your group won.
Hey, what's up, Chapel Street? The winter retreat is coming up, and I hope you are as excited as I am because it is going to be a great time. We're going to have some great things on campus, such as a gym, a coffee shop / snack shack, and a couple more things, and including a guest speaker that is going to be so awesome during our sessions. With this, we're also going to have our annual broomball tournament. We'll be able to put our competitions and our grudges aside and leave it on the ice. Along with this, we are going to go to Devil's Head and shred on some slopes. And if you're not doing that, you're going to be going to Kalahari to ride on some water slides, which is both options are going to be such a great time. I can't wait to see you guys there. Dress warm, it's going to be a cold one. And let's bring our fun. See ya!
Hey guys, this is just your reminder to sign up for our summer missions trips planned for this year. We have the Twin Cities trip, which we leave June 11th and come back the 17th. This trip is for incoming sophomores, juniors, and seniors. As well, we have our Ecuador trip, which we leave June 19th and come back July 1st. These trips are a great way to take the next step in your relationship with God, and we encourage everyone to come. You can access the application in our Instagram bio or Chapel Street website.
That's all for us.
Passing it on to Tom.
Everybody, I just wanted to pop on here and share with you that our friends, John Tolo and Keenan from Godtown in the Twin Cities, who were just here with us last month for our D Group Missions Night, those guys have reached out to me and they've asked if we could take some time tonight to intentionally pray for them. John and Keenan are currently in Pakistan on a really important mission trip that's focused on training church leaders and young adults, as well as ministering to children and women in slave camps, which unfortunately are really actually very prominent in that part of the world. And so tonight, I want to invite you as your D group to just spend a few minutes praying over John and Keenan and the ministry that they'll do during their time in Pakistan. If you've been to the Twin Cities before, you know that we've really seen the power of prayer played out right in front of us as we've served with John and Keenan in the past. And we believe that God really listens to our prayers. In 1 John, it says that we can have confidence in approaching God, that if we ask anything according to His will, that God hears us. So again, I just want to invite you just for a few minutes tonight to join us in praying for the good news of the gospel, to really capture hearts and minds as God uses John and Keenan to serve in Pakistan this week. Your leaders also, with them, have these prayer cards. They look just like this. They'll hand them out to you tonight just as a simple reminder for you to be praying for John and Keenan, not just tonight, but also throughout the entire week. So I just encourage you, stick this in your pocket, in your backpack, somewhere that you'll see it every day. And whenever you do, just take a couple brief moments to pause and to pray for John and Keenan whenever you happen to see your card. Thanks in advance for praying with us for John and Keenan. Now, let me shift gears a little bit on you here tonight. Many of you were here with us last week at our Kessinger campus as we began our new D Group series, and we watched the first video focused on God's love for us. And tonight, the conversation shifts a little bit over to the topic of shame and forgiveness. Now, before we dive in, I just want to share a few quick thoughts with you about this topic. Shame is really something that at times can absolutely cripple us as people, especially when it comes to sex and sexuality. At times it can cause us to hide from God, to hide from others, and even to hide from ourselves. And we really want to talk about shame honestly in this series, but we also know that this discussion can be really triggering for some. In tonight's video, you're going to hear stories of pornography, masturbation, premarital sex, and even a story of rape. These stories, especially the one about rape, they're just really not easy to hear. And I know that in a student ministry as big as ours, as a church our size, it's very likely that someone watching this video tonight, maybe you or maybe somebody that you know, has a very similar story. And let me just start by saying, if this is your story, let me tell you, it is not your fault. Let me say that again. If this is your story, it's not your fault. And if you haven't already talked to a trusted adult, maybe tonight or in this series this month, maybe now is the time. I want to invite you to consider sharing this part of your story with an adult who you trust and who can really help walk with you on the journey to healing. This is a very important step. I hope you know that me and your D Group leaders are really committed to your sexual health and well-being. It's really one of the reasons why we're even doing this series in the first place. But we also are very committed to your mental and to your spiritual health and well-being as well. The stories of pain in our lives, often if left unattended, can cause even greater pain and shame. And that's why this week the video also focuses on God's forgiveness. The whole goal of this series, like I said last week, is to point us to Jesus. And so we need to learn the power of forgiveness to change our lives and to set us on a new course in Christ. So as I pass things back to your leaders now, and they'll cue up the video for this week, please know this, that you are loved. You're loved by your parents, you're loved by your friends, by your D group leaders, by me, Beth, and Alyssa, and most importantly, you are loved by God. I'm praying for you tonight as you dig into this difficult topic of shame and forgiveness, and I hope to see you back next week here at our Kesslinger campus. We'll see you soon.